What is up, guys? Techrax here, and I have 4 iPhone 11s here on this podcast, and I'm going to be whacking my room fan against these iPhone 11s to see how well they'll do. So, let's try that out, okay, guys? Okay, I'm kidding. I'm not Techrax. This is actually a video on Techrax, because recently, I've been talking to one of my friends recently, and one of them brought up how boring Techrax was, and I went back to go and watch Techrax's videos again, and I realized just how boring he truly was. His content is not that great. I mean, I'll admit, like, it's amusing to watch the phone break. Don't get me wrong, that's fun. But, like, oh man, Techrax as a person is not fun. Techrax is, like, the most unamusing person you could ever meet, because Techrax does the same thing in every video. His intro is the same. What's up, guys? Techrax here, and I'm gonna be blah blah blah. Wash, rinse, repeat. It's the same formula. There's nothing to it. It's just the same thing repeated over and over again. It's repetitive and it's boring. Just his general speech pattern is not something I think is pleasant either. Like, he uses the worst words that you could ever, think of in the vocabulary. In his English vocabulary. It's actually horrendous. Anytime he drops a phone from, a really, really high building, Oh, actually, you know what, I should probably explain what he does. So, essentially, Techrax is a quote-unquote tech channel, and I say quote-unquote because he's not really a tech channel. He just goes around and destroys phones, and phones isn't exactly, it doesn't exactly sum up every piece of technology there is. Yes, they're technology, but they're not, it's not all technology. It's just, phones are phones. That's all they are. There's more technology than phones, and that's all he breaks. But basically, he takes a phone. Let's theoretically say he drops it somewhere. He drops it. He's dropped it from a 30-story building from 300 feet or something like that. Just for an example, it's not the most. Let's just say 30-story building. He drops a phone from a 30-story building, and the phone gets destroyed as you'd expect. He runs down the stairs, checks to see if the phone is fine. To no avail. There's obviously some, or not no avail, but to nobody's surprise, there's obviously some damage from it because he got the bright idea to drop it. Blah blah blah. And he does this with several phones. It's not just one phone. He does this with 3 to 4 phones, by the way, because from every video he makes, he gets a lot of money from it. So he has a bunch of phones that he buys, breaks them, makes money from the video's success, gets the money from the video's success, uses the money to buy more phones, wash, rinse, repeat. And it's so stupid. To be frank, I hate it. I genuinely hate it. It is not interesting at all. It's so boring. It puts me to sleep. Who cares? Obviously it's broken. You dropped it from a 30-story building, or you put it in a tub of liquid nitrogen. Who cares? That's not obviously it's gonna be broken. It's not gonna be in perfect working condition. But sometimes after he breaks it, he's all if it survives, he's like, wow guys, this is incredible, the phone is doing well, look at this phone is absolutely amazing, guys. The phone battery is still at 70%. There's cracks in the back, but the front is in perfectly working condition. They'll say stupid stuff like that. It's absolutely insane, guys. Look at this. Like, he'll repeat himself over and over again. His wording is very verbose, and I do not like it. And to a certain degree, I know better. I'm kind of a hypocrite for saying that because my wording can be very verbose as well, because I tend to oftentimes use the same selection of different words to describe something, but with Techrax, it's absolutely awful. Like, his vocabulary is so small. And in a video I just watched, iPhone 7 and Coca-Cola versus Sprite Fanta and Pepsi, or 24 hours freeze test. At the very end, he says something like, Phantom survived in the audio world. Audio world? I was expecting him to say audio department, but world, really? What? How? It's not even, like, department. You just say department. But whatever. He says world anyways. It's really weird choice of words. It doesn't make any sense. But I guess he couldn't figure out what the right term was. But still, that's just really annoying. I find Techrax to be, like, as I've said before, the most boring person that anyone could ever talk to. There's quite literally nothing to him. He's about as bland as a block, as like a... he's about as bland as a block of tofu. Like, if you were, like... If I were to give you a good analogy, let's say you went to get some food, you order a steak from one restaurant, and you go to another restaurant that's Chinese or something, and you order tofu. You try the tofu, and you try the steak. Steak's obviously going to be the clear winner because it's got seasoning and flavoring on it, stuff like that. And then you have the tofu, which is bland, or white rice if tofu isn't, fit for this analogy. Let's say white rice. White rice and tofu, pretty filling, but it's bland because there's nothing to it. It has no flavor. That's Techrax in a nutshell. His content is kind of amusing because, he breaks phones. It's kind of fun and stuff. But, like, he would have been, I would have found him more interesting as a person if he was doing this for, a joke. But he's not even doing this for a joke. He's doing it for, like... He's actually doing it genuinely. And I just... I hate it. He's not fun to, really talk to. Or not talk to, but, like, listen to. Like, I find him to be the most boring individual on the planet. It puts me to sleep. Like, I can imagine someone being all like, oh my god, what is up with this guy? It's unamusing. It is actually, like, the only thing that he has going for him is the fact that it's fun watching him destroy stuff, like phones, but that's about the extent of what he's got going for him. Like, listening to him isn't exactly pleasant at all because he's A, very verbose, he's B, he tends to oftentimes repeat the same content. It's not, I don't know, I just don't care much for it. Like, and honestly, I would have thought that maybe he'd switch things up a little bit. And over time, I've even seen that he's gotten worse gradually over the years. He's gone so low just to, or not so low. I apologize if I'm stuttering a lot. this happens to be a common problem in every single episode, but he's stooped about as low as taking this little thing, like this little bin, or not bin, but like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's called, but like, he takes this little like metal tray. Yeah, tray. He takes this little metal tray, and he, puts the iPhone, or whatever phone it was. I think it was an iPhone. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an iPhone. It's the most common thing on his channel that he destroys. But he, I think, puts an iPhone in there. Now, in this tray. Now, you're thinking, well, this is typical for Techrax. He's obviously gonna put some like Coca-Cola on it, or pour some Coca-Cola or liquid nitrogen on it, or beat it down with a hammer or something. No, he doesn't do either of that, or he doesn't do any of that. I can't talk. I'm sorry. He doesn't do any of that. Instead, what he does is he takes a bunch of cockroaches. Out of all things, I don't know why you would take cockroaches. I don't know what cockroaches are going to do to the phone, but okay. So he takes a bunch of cockroaches, and then he takes molten lava, and then he pours, or not molten lava, I meant like molten metal, my apologies. He pours molten metal on top of the phone as well as the cockroaches. And in the background, you can hear someone saying, "Stop!" And not only do you hear them say "stop," you hear the cockroaches screaming. And then at the end of it all, he pulls the phone out of... He pulls the phone and the molten metal that's, just hardened and solidified out of the tray. And he's like, "Look at this, guys. Look at the damage. Oh my gosh. Guys, look at the damage. This is absolutely crazy, guys. This phone is soft. This is insane. This is absolutely amazing." And then he's like, "As for the roaches, they're sleeping. Yeah, they're sleeping." He literally says they're sleeping. Even though, one of the cockroaches seemed to be, I don't know, holding on for dear life. Why? Why would you ever do this? Why? I hate that. And to no one's surprise, he gets a bunch of, views and stuff from it. And I can't exactly blame everyone for, eating this stuff up. Like, it's cool to watch. Like, destroying the phone, yeah, I don't blame anyone for getting enjoyment out of that. It's funny watching a phone that isn't yours get destroyed. I don't blame anyone. That's kind of amusing. I watch that too. It's something I'd laugh at. Or just say, so that's what the phone looks like when it's destroyed. Like, it's something to think about. It's amusing. So I don't blame anyone for thinking that. But, like, the cockroaches and just the fact that he says that they're sleeping at the end of it all. Either that or just the fact that he repeats himself and his commentary is bad. Why? You make it sound like you make it sound like it's actually fun. Like, he sounds overly excited for seemingly no reason, when there's nothing for him to really be excited over. It's stupid. Like, I don't understand the, like, point behind any of his reactions. It's so nonsensical. I don't understand Techrax. He's the weirdest guy on the planet. And he's so boring that, like, let's say, you know, you would ask him an opinion on something. Like, let's say, oh, Techrax, what do you think of, Sonic, the classic Sonic games? He'd be like, do you like Sonic 1 or Sonic 2 better? He'd be like, I think they're both good, really. Guys, look at this brand new iPhone, perfectly mint condition. Oh my god, guys, just look at the sheer quality. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good, guys. Look at this. Look at this. And he goes on about the quality of the phone. He goes crazy over it. Like, it's something. He acts as if it's something people care about, even though it isn't. People just want to see the phone be destroyed, man. Like, get to the point already. Like, why are you talking about the quality of the phone if you're just gonna destroy it anyway? Like, who cares? I don't understand Techrax. Like, I don't know what his thought process is, like, what he's thinking, like, what goes through his mind, but I find it to be so silly. Like, there's no logic. I do not understand anything he does. And I find it to be the worst thing. I don't know. It's so it's unbearable to listen to. It's that bad. Like, I wouldn't, be surprised if someone were to theoretically cringe at something like that. I know I would. And that's, that definitely tells you what kind of a person he is. He's not very amusing. I must admit that is very bad. But yeah, all in all, Techrax, quite frankly, does not have anything going for him. Other than, like, the fact that his old content was kind of, like, fun to watch. But that was about it. Like, all of his new content now, I'm actually going to look at his channel for a second. What happens when you fill up... Wait. Okay. Let's look for the most unamusing stuff. Right? iPhone 11 Pro hammer and knife scratch test. Oh boy, it's not like we've seen that before 10 million times, but then again, it's a new phone, so I can't exactly blame him. Or it is newer. My bad. iPhone... Crushing giant porcupine pufferfish by car tire. And basically I think in this one he puts, like, the iPhone under the porcupine pufferfish, and then the porcupine pufferfish just ends up getting crushed or whatever, and cracked and stuff. It's dumb. Drinking iPhone X juice with a life straw experiment. Ah, yes. Now that's something I want to see. Yes, let me drink up all the blended innards of a phone. That's something I really want to... That's interesting. That's something I want to watch. Okay, I'm being sarcastic. It's not something I want to watch. It's in fact, I already watched it and it's pretty disgusting. I don't know why you would do something like that, but you can tell that the guy is running out of ideas. You can tell, and it's actually terrible. But yeah, all in all, do I like Techrax? No, not really. I think his videos can sometimes be amusing, but sometimes also not amusing. It really depends, but the guy is so... It feels like you're just talking to a robot. That's how boring he is. But anyways, if you enjoyed this podcast, stay tuned for the next episode, whenever that is. See ya.